We have to press the government for reparations. Listen, as long as you ask for a job, and they don't have them these days, but they can promise it. You're going along to get along. Do you know why Elijah Muhammad put on the back page of Muhammad Speaks? We want freedom, full and complete freedom. We want justice. We want equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. We want equality. We want equality of opportunity, and we want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. But then in point number 4, he says we believe that those of us whose parents, have been here for 400 years, and we believe that you have offered us integration as a hypocritical trick to make us believe that our 400-year-old enemy has now become our friend. We believe that this is the time in history for separation. And he said, since we can't get along with you in peace, then we think what we've contributed to America, we should have some of this earth that we can call our own. So we need 8 or 10 states with an outlet to the sea. And we want you to supply our needs in this separate territory for the next 20 or 25 years until we can go for ourselves. Now, I had a talk at Harvard with that man, the senator that died, Moynihan. He had talked about birth control among blacks, and I went to Harvard and we had a little debate, and I told Mr. Moynihan that, we wanted to be separated from you. We don't see you giving us no justice. So we want some of this earth that we can call our own. And I was telling him that we were willing to go into underbrush and cut the underbrush down and fell the trees and build a nation of our own. And I was telling the Honorable Elijah Muhammad what I told Moynihan. He said, stop, you was doing all right till you got to that part. Say, you don't tell the white man that you're willing to go back and cut no underbrush. We already did that once. If we have to do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns that we helped you build. Go and find some other state to move in. You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then. You better start smoking what this is. Because that mess that you're talking ain't making no damn sense.
That's right. That's right.
You gonna wait around here another 100 years so they can bamboozle you some more?
That's right. Right.
He said, well, 8 or 10 states, let them go out, we go in, and let them take care of us in that separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, they won't do that. Listen, they've been taking care of Israel for 55 years. They've given Israel over 100 billion of your tax dollars, and Israel haven't done nothing for them. You mean to tell me we who built the country, we who fought, bled, and died to maintain the country, we who gave it art and culture and seasoning, and we can't get along with you in peace as long as we want equal justice? Hell no, we can't wait for you to change. Right. We want a nation. We want to be able to prepare a future for our children. We don't need no rich middle class of Negroes who can't do nothing for the masses of our people. We need land and territory that we can call our own. So reparation got to be on the agenda. We need land, Mr. President. You got all this Federal Reserve land. What you reserving it for? Yeah, we need cash. Hell yeah, print some more. to you in your foolish state. What are you going to do with $20, $30, $40, $50,000 but give it right back to the enemy? It ain't about money. It's about that which will prepare a future for you and your children. You're not going to be on welfare for the rest of your life. You're not going to be out here scrounging and begging white people for a job for the rest of your life. But if you got land that you can build a real world out of it for yourself. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, well, I put it there. They may never give it to you. He said, but I want you to know what justice looks like. So they won't offer you a white woman and a few dollars and you think we made it. Some of you Negroes will sell our people out for just a little position with white people. You won't sell us out. You'll be buying your funeral. The future of our people is not to be compromised. It would be better that you were dropped in the bottom of the sea with a millstone around your neck to betray the legitimate aspirations of our people. We got to come out from among them. We got to leave Pharaoh. Leave him. The hell with it. Leave it. Force him to tell you, nigga, I ain't giving you nothing. If you put it on the table strong enough, he'll come out of his bag. See, today he's smiling. Hi, brother, how are you? See? But if you say, no, wait, no, smile, no pat on the back. Yeah, let's talk about reparation here. Okay? Then you see him change. Face get red. He opened his mouth and these teeth turn into fangs. Horns come up. Say, now look, we'll give you a monument for the slaves. We'll even help you Negroes have a museum on the mall in Washington. But we'll be damned if we're going to give you anything. Say, well, fine. You're not going to give us nothing, and we're not going to give you nothing. We ain't joining your army. We're coming out of it. We ain't paying no taxes to support a system that's against us. Hell no. See, now you're throwing down the gauntlet. Now either God is real or we don't need him. God damn it, if God can't come to our defense, who the hell need a God that won't fight for us? So all you scared to death niggas that think that God ain't real, we gonna prove that he's real because we calling this cracker out. God damn it, come on out then. And if God be God, then stand up for us like you stood up for the children of Israel. Yes, sir. Come on. I don't represent no punk God. No, sir. No, sir. I represent a God that make rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. I represent a God that has power over the forces of nature. I represent a God that can turn men's minds to thinking and doing as he pleases. And he real, he ain't no damn spook. So all of you that fear the white man as a God beside Allah, get the hell over here. I'm willing to die for the righteousness and the freedom of black people. And I'm not no damn fool. Keep on your feet. This is a day of separation. Yes, go ahead. Y'all not gonna be together. That's right. Now look, do we do business like business should be done? Let me hear an answer. In the word business is the word busy. And when you're busy, you're engaged in some focused activity. Business is the activity of life itself. When you are a living organism, you must be engaged in that which preserves and maintains your life. There is no creature that God created that is not busy feeding, sheltering, procreating, extending itself. If we are a living people, see, inanimate objects don't do this. They don't procreate. They don't go looking for food or shelter. They're inanimate, meaning they're not living. But what about you? Ever since we've been in America, we haven't provided food, clothing, shelter, education for ourselves and our people. Am I lying? You graduated from Morehouse, Clark, Howard, Tuskegee, Florida A&M, North Carolina A&T. Yeah. And you have degrees. What have we produced? Of food, of clothing, of shelter for our people. If you find as a living creature that you need something that you don't have, you look around for somebody that has what you need, and you enter into trade and commerce as a living people. But you are not alive. You are dead people. You have flatlined on business. Now, if you look at all the people of the earth, the ones that are the most busy, showing that they have the most life, are the members of the Jewish people. Why are they this way? Because they had the prophets. And they learned well. Now, I'd like to read you something that I found in this book. It talks about the percentage of Jews in America, but the number of Nobel laureates. Their percentage outweighs everybody's. They are the best in science, in medicine, in law, in art, in culture. It's a tremendous people. How did they get it? Through trade and commerce. Our lessons tell us that they set up a trading post. See, they understood the value of commerce. We haven't got it yet. You got brothers and sisters all over the world that you can do business with, but we have no commerce.
All right. Greetings, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. If you are Muslim and you're fasting in this holy month of Ramadan, hope you have a powerful fast and you're enjoying your fast. So I'm your brother, Fard MacD, the CEO and founder of New Millennium Bankers and Fard Money Network. And today I'm with my beautiful, lovely wife, Sister Yatira MacD. Well, I'll let her introduce herself to you. And today we want to talk about we're bringing back our broadcast of separation and independence. There was a broadcast that we did for a couple years that mainly I did. So we are coming together to do more of a collaboration together on this topic, separation and independence, with subtopics. Last time we did it a couple of weeks ago, maybe about over a month ago, because we've been doing a lot of traveling. We've been having a lot of things going on in our family, in our business. So we haven't been really stationary to really do these streams every Thursday. But we plan on starting tonight to do them more regularly, especially throughout the whole month of April. And tonight we want to talk about our last time we talked about family, the cornerstone of nation. And tonight we want to go into the educational aspect of that. And the title is How Important is the Knowledge of God? And we are taught in the Nation of Islam by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that the knowledge of God and the knowledge itself is one and the same. So we want to go into this and have a discussion. And we like our viewers to please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube. That's our main channel. We're also streaming on Facebook for our MacD page, and we're also streaming on Sister Yatira MacD Facebook page. So follow us on any one of those platforms so you can tune in. So I'm going to turn the mic over to my beautiful, lovely wife so she can take us further into the program.
Again, Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. I am Sister Yatira MacD. Very honored and happy to be here tonight on this live stream as we discuss separation and independence and the many different topics that we will be bringing on the weeks forthcoming. As my husband has stated, the different things that we discuss are very important and timely subjects. And as we discussed last time, as we talked about family being the cornerstone of nation in that live stream where we were on for nearly 2 hours. Of course, we had some videos there of the minister helping us out, but we talked a lot about a lot of various topics. And one being kind of where we ended was dealing with education, dealing with the children. And so my husband, that was the vision or the seed, if you will, for this week's topic of discussion, dealing with how important is the knowledge of God. And we're going to get into it in depth, but how that ties in line, how that is really the education that our children have to get. And in a world like this and in a society like this, that is not the educational system, the institutions that are set up in this world. So we want to talk about these things, delve into it. And as we do, we really want to, we're asking that, yes, as you come to our channels, our pages, like, subscribe, and share, we're asking you to engage with us with an open mind, considering the things that we are actually discussing. Some things can be touchy subjects, especially when we have an emotional attachment to something. Things can feel like attacks when we have been doing something a certain way, or something has been going on in our family for generation after generation. We can find ourselves being defensive about these things. And that's not the intention here. That's not the idea, to, offend or attack. However, if we don't discuss real life matter situations, problems with solutions, real time solutions, not distant future solutions or wish we shoulda, coulda, woulda, no real-time solutions that we can actually discuss and implement now. That's the idea. So I'm I don't know where you actually want to start with this broadcast. That's just kind of the touching up on the education where we left off last week. But was there a specific point that you want to kind of open us up and lay the base or the foundation on why you chose the subject that you did, what it means to you, the significance of it, and how we will go further from there?
Well, let's start here.
Okay.
We are students in the Nation of Islam, as you can see. We are students and soldiers in the Nation of Islam. This is how we met. This is what brought us together. We are both still active in the mosque structure of the Nation of Islam. And we are both active in the military structure of the Nation of Islam. And this Nation of Islam is under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The root of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is pure science. Pure science. On every aspect of life. Not just some, not just eating, not just working out, not just business. Every aspect of the teachings that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought us is pure science. So the reason why we talking about education, well, the number one principle or the number one understanding that we need to, the number one aspect of discipline or knowledge that we need to have, which is dealing with education, right, is the knowledge of God, which on the flip side is the knowledge itself. It's the same thing. So this is very important that we have that, especially in this day and time, right? So when she said we wanted to do something about education, I said, well, there's nothing better than doing the knowledge of God. How important is it, the knowledge of God? Because that's the knowledge of yourself. Don't matter if you're black, white, Chinese, it don't matter. What your race, what your ethnic, it don't matter. What you think your religion is or what you say your religion is, none of that really matters. All right, I know we're using God, but we are also taught that God only means is a word that means force and power. All right, force and power. So if you don't have force and power, you're not exercising your Godhood. So I wanted to talk about this because with everything that we do in Forward Money Network, we deal with business, right? We deal with business. This broadcast, it separates the independence, but we still all the time dealt with is a business aspect attached to it, an economic aspect attached to it. Why? Because like the minister just said, we don't do business. We haven't learned it yet. We haven't figured out trade and commerce. We haven't figured out economy, economics. We haven't figured out group economics. We ain't figured that out yet. Now, some of us might have some knowledge that the rest of us don't have, but that's a topic that we don't want to talk about. So we want to talk about from the standpoint of the educational side and how it all ties in to how the spiritual, the political, the economics, you can't separate them. You can't separate them, right? The politics has to be there because you got to get out of here and deal with people, right? You have to. The spiritual has to be there because we have to be, because we have been wickedly trained on, we just think negative, we say negative stuff, we always think like this, we always thinking with an evil subconscious mind because we was raised and trained and taught under that type of mind. So we have it, all right? But when it comes to business, money, stuff like that, we don't like to have these discussions because everybody in our community, we won't put aside what's best for the whole. We only want to do what's right for me, what's good for me. We don't want to do what's best for the whole because we don't really care nothing about each other. We really don't. We don't even care nothing about our family, right? We really don't. And that's what we are trying to clear up. What we want to help further get us, and we want to play our part and furthering the understanding of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We just want to play our part, and our part is trade and commerce, business, is warfare, economics. That's our standpoint. You know, in the education, we can put that in there too, because we have that too, because you can't separate true education and then take out financing and economics and economy and take all those things out of the education. You can't do that. All right, that ain't proper education. So that's where we want to start at. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, take me back to my wife, so she can say whatever she want to say. I ask you questions or however you want to do it, baby.
No, yeah, I mean, what you said was really profound, and it kind of, for you to elaborate as we're going. But I wanted to share, as you said, you talked about the knowledge of God and how the flip side of that is equivalent to the knowledge of self, and it kind of painted a picture in my mind. If we could imagine the supreme being sitting in a classroom in America's schools, sitting there being so-called taught or educated, right? So-called, about basically American history, or history that just dates back for the last 6,000 years. But how does that look to, again, if we're talking about the supreme being sitting in that classroom whose history, whose time predates the beginning, and with that picture in your head, it starts to make more sense. That's just what came to my mind as you were just describing the knowledge of God, the knowledge of self, because how important is it for one to know their own history, how far back they go, where do they come from? If I'm a person whose history only is 6,000 years, and I'm going to teach and educate somebody whose history goes back trillions of years, something doesn't add up in that math. And therefore, what's coming out of that equation, since that equation does not add up properly, what's coming out on the other side is not the answer, is not the solution. It's wrong. It's a problem which still needs to be solved. So when you said that, like I said, that was just a really vivid picture on it. So I had some notes here that I took. Next time or in the future, some of the videos that I actually wanted to play, we won't play tonight, but I wanted to touch on Kim Kiyosaki. There's a video that we listened to within our group a few weeks ago. It's like an 8 to maybe 15-minute video, somewhere in that ballpark. And Kim Kiyosaki, who is Robert Kiyosaki's wife, an entrepreneur. And in this video, she's being interviewed, and she talked about, her journey going from, always being employed or always going between jobs or bouncing from jobs and things of that nature. But when she mentioned school, her views lined up with ours. Now, of course, she wasn't going into depth about schools on the levels of what we do with the teachings that we have. But she made it clear and plain enough that the educational system not only does it not properly prepare children, but it stifles their creativity. It stifles them to really have the mind to want to think outside of the box. She explained and talked about how from her study of it, her view of it, and her understanding of it, how the school really is designed to make workers, to make employees, instead of being able to work collectively together the way that you would do as an entrepreneur, as a networker, as a business owner, how you're looking to collaborate with people. In school, you're taught work by yourself. Don't look on, when you're taking a test, you have to do things by yourself. You're in school, she mentioned how, wrong, being wrong or making mistakes is like a big no-no. You don't want to make a mistake. You want to be there for the lesson, memorize the lesson and be able to immediately recite the lesson. And so this leaves no room. Not only does it not leave room, but again, it stifles creativity. And so as we go into that more, I want to bring up another part of our life that was inspired by one of our children. And you said that was a talking point that we would discuss tonight, which was our son, Wally. As we're moving this forward, and please feel free to always, bounce back to different points as we're having this discussion, because that's what it is, a discussion. So yesterday morning, our son Wally, who's 1, he'll be 2 in April, and he was walking around with a little play cup, and he was drinking out of it, and he was like, "Mommy, I drink coffee." and so I didn't think anything of it. And then a few minutes later, when my husband asked him, "What you doing, man?" And he said to him, "Daddy, I'm drinking coffee." And so we looked at each other, and and it kind of like in an amazement, like, this is the kind of stuff that he's playing about. Like, where did he get this from? Who told him? He around here telling us that he's drinking coffee right now. So we looked at each other, and and it started the gears in my mind started going, and I started talking to my husband about it, and we were bouncing off each other's thoughts. And my husband mentioned, as I brought up about how, look at what he said just based off of what he sees. And as we talked about that, my husband said, yeah, dealing with people, how they pick up habits, right? People smoke and drink in front of their children, shouldn't really be surprised when their children grow up and smoke and drink. And so that was definitely one aspect of that conversation. And then the other side of it, I was thinking about how we are entrepreneurs. And as we're entrepreneurs, we live a certain kind of way. And our children see this. So by them see what they see, this is the bottom line. What they see is what they do. Because we didn't have to teach our son, hey, this is what you do with a cup. This is what you put in a cup. This is how you drink a cup. But he didn't say water or milk. He said coffee. Because I make coffee for my husband. The conversation is there. He sees what his father is drinking, and he wants to emulate that. He wants to duplicate that. He wants to copy daddy. That's what he wants to do. Not because his father verbally told him, but because this is what he sees his father doing. So that really just touched me in a way, because it just showed that saying, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. It made it so real for me, because we can teach our children, we can say to our children, get good grades, stay in school, do this, live your life this way. Here's this book, or, we can give them and say all kind of things to them. But when they look at us, what are they seeing?
Well, see, that's where we get to the importance of the knowledge of self, or the knowledge of God. Because when you have the knowledge of God, your God, if you have the real reality knowledge of him, you know that there is you, all right, in the mirror. Yes, there's always one supreme over everybody. But in every circle, every family, every vicinity, is always one more supreme in knowledge and power. Don't mean he know more, just meaning he comprehend more of what he do know, right? Because a lot of us might know a lot of stuff, but if we don't comprehend the knowledge, then we don't really understand it. Then we can't apply it to advance our life, which will advance our children and generations and generations, right? So the knowledge has to be comprehended so it can be properly applied to extract the wisdom that's inside of the knowledge. So once we know the knowledge of self, which is the knowledge of God, we don't send our children to strangers. And because we know the knowledge of self, we know the knowledge of them, right?
Right.
So we know who the enemy is. It's not an illusion to us if we have the knowledge of self. We know who it is. So under no circumstances can the children, if we are fixing our mind on a world where they're no longer ruling, it ain't got nothing to do with white people being on the planet. It got something to do with them being in power. Okay? Nothing to do with them being on the planet. Because when we come into power and remove the rulers that'll be right now, once they are removed, once Allah removed them, rather, right? Once they are removed in His good time, when they are rid of the rulership, well, we are ruling, and it's gonna be some Caucasian people that still be here and make it, as long as they will submit to the will of God. They can be here. As long as they strive to do righteousness, they can stay. All right. They're not gonna go anywhere. The Moshe Muhammad told us that, right? The minister constantly teaches us this. All right. So it's not a color thing, but it's about, well, your education system is flawed. You can't teach my children because what are you preparing them to do? I went through your education system and turned out terrible. Right? I seen my parents went through, they turned out terrible. What are they doing? They ain't doing nothing to advance they self, advance their family, and advance their people. They ain't doing nothing on that level. As the minister say, we don't understand business. We ain't doing business because we ain't providing shelter, clothes, food. We're not providing the essentials of life for ourselves. We're not doing that. All right? We're not doing that. And when it get to the money tip, we ain't doing it in that tip either. We just ain't doing it. So we know that the children can't go to public school because this is what they're being taught. But this is how important the knowledge of God is, because the knowledge of God is the knowledge of self. So it takes the man being connected to the God, whatever you call him, he over the household, right? The woman being the queen who rears the children is over the children. So that for mean what? If you're a king over the house, you got to bring in what it takes so she don't have to work. Well, if you do have a job, she can't work once the children start coming. Why? Well, who gonna teach the children? Especially if you're in the city and there's no independent black school. But independent black school don't matter if it is MUI, whatever. They not cheap to send your children there, right? So you still gonna need the money to still get them the proper education because it's all about them. This is your future self. This is you, where I guess present self, but if we could further them, that's really what father means, fatherhood. We have to further our children so they can be better than us. The same thing with motherhood. This is what it means. So they have to see their father being an alpha dominant male that ain't crying and giving. My wife don't get. I don't get it. She don't get the light bill. I don't get the light bill. Don't come in and I say, hey, here. If I hand it to her, I hand her the card to go pay it to. Right? That's just what I'm saying. And that's with any bill, right? Rent, mortgage, car note, all that's phone bills. That ain't nothing she has to worry about. She has a full-time job rearing the children, cooking, cleaning, serving me. She has a full-time job. So I should at least be able to make enough income to sustain us, but she don't have to come out of her pocket for any whatever money she had. She should be able to do whatever she want to do with that. And the time freedom, though. Her mind is clear. So when she got time to educate the children, she ain't thinking about bills. And if what about the food, the groceries? That she ain't thinking about that. Just yesterday, she just gave me a list. I didn't say what the budget is. Sometimes I do that with groceries because you get outraged with the groceries. Now you get in there, you spend $1,000 and come out of there with a couple bags, right? Due to inflation. So sometimes we say, well, she be like, what is it? I was like, we kind of strapped, so $150, $100, $200, because we just need something for a couple of days. We'll go back in the next couple of days or whatever like that. You feel what I'm saying? But yesterday I was like, hey, just make a list. She made a list about $300, not knowing me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I didn't give a budget, but we went and got all the stuff. It wasn't nothing. But one thing I can say about our last two children, what about all three of them, really? The reason listen, our children came out independent. Y'all ain't hearing me. What do you mean? They already want to do everything for themselves. Our 7-year-old, she clothes herself, she bathes herself. Nobody does that for her. She does that. She pick out her clothes, get herself dressed. She make her prayers, right? She does that. Only thing, her next step for her, she be taking care of herself. She just learn how to cook. And just be going there and know how to do that stuff without hurting herself. She won't even need mother. You know what I'm saying? Listen, our 3-year-old, Fahima, came out the womb. Want to feed herself. Want to put on their own. This is what they do. They cry and they argue about this. Like, no, let me feed you. No, I got it. This is what they do now. That's independent. These are independent babies. You feel what I'm saying? These are independent babies. I know children where their mama dressed them till they were like 15, 16 years old. Their mama picked out their clothes. You feel what I'm saying? But these children at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, this is how they already coming out. That's an independent thought. I want to dress myself. I want to put my own shoes on. I want to put my own socks on. I want to feed myself. I don't want you to hold the bottle for me. Give me the bottle. I don't want you to hold the spoon and sit there and feed me. I'm going to feed myself. I don't want to wait on you to say cut the TV on. Cut it on myself. Now we get on them about that. But they will grab the TV and just cut it on. Especially Wale. Yeah, he don't even, as soon as just take him just with the remote. If he can reach the remote, he grab it. He grab it. He gonna want to put it in. He gonna put it on whatever he want to feel like putting it on. Then look around and look. Like I know y'all gonna say something. Hey,
but I did.
This is what I'm trying to watch. Damn what y'all talking about. No, y'all talking about Farrakhan time. But this is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? But we have that. So I'm gonna pass that. I just wanted to just say that. That's why it's so important to have the knowledge of God. If you ain't got it, who you serving? Who you serving? You feel me? Because we have this conversation all the time. And especially once you come into the light of the teachings. You stand up and say, I'm a registered member. I got an X. I'm a Muhammad, Mahdi, whatever name you get and call yourself. Well, how long are you going to be still serving the enemy and not doing for self? How long that's going to be? If we got some, what did they say? Supreme wisdom. This is the Supreme Wisdom Dictionary. God damn it, I be damned. You ain't got supreme results in your lifestyle. You don't got supreme wisdom. It's just a book. Supreme wisdom equals supreme results. A supreme lifestyle. A freedom lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Unless you don't comprehend what's in here. You just got it. You can quote it. Quote Talledge. Quote it. Ain't no different. What can you apply from it? What can you extract from it? How can your life be an example on what the God brought us? Mm-hmm. The minister did it. The Muslim Muhammad did it. Malcolm did it. Can you imagine when Malcolm was at the height of his rise in the nation of Islam? Before the fallout, working a job? Can you imagine that? He was too hard on the enemy. No, that's impossible. He was too hard on the enemy. And he trained the minister. Look at the minister. So when the minister rebuilt the nation in 77, the minister ain't had no job. First thing he did was when he started the Final Call newspaper. First thing he did, and the Final Call newspaper is still here 40 plus years later. It's still here. He built something that sustained not just him and his family, but it sustained the nation. Ooh, man, let me get there. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna grab the mic. Get the mic. Get the mic.
I got it. Let me go ahead and just take that. Because we'll be here until 12 if he keeps the mic. So let's take what he said. Though,
I'm free. I can stay here at 1, 2 o'clock.
That's nice. That's a wonderful thing. How important is the knowledge of God to the point that you were just making? Dealing with me so crazy. Oh my goodness. Dealing with the application of it, because it's so important, the knowledge of God, not just in, like my husband was just saying, being a quotologist. And this is coming from any of the books of God, right? Why is it that you can have two people read from the Bible, the Holy Quran, the lessons that my husband just lifted, that you can have two people read from these books, and one becomes enslaved and one becomes free, especially in this era, especially in this time, because knowledge is not just about taking it in, but it is about the application of it, right? So that's why they do assessments in school. They give you some information, and then they want to see how you have processed it and how you are able to now use Pythagorean theorem, right? Or whatever you're doing in English class now. You know what I'm saying? You wanna learn about similes, or the different semantics of English and the language, etc. And then you write and let me see what you have applied. So what you have learned, what did you comprehend, back to that word, on with knowledge. So when we're talking about the knowledge of God and we're talking about education here, I mean, it really covers all aspects of life, right? Because there's no aspect of life that you can take God out of and call it that still, when he is the author of life. So there was something else here that I had written down, dealing with the importance of this knowledge and the children. We talked about this briefly not last week, but the last time that we were here together. So I won't be long on this point. But when we're just dealing with our babies, as my husband just mentioned, see, for these children to come out so independent, this is something that, this is their environment, both in the womb, right? The environment that husband and wife, their mother, their father is shaping for them. So they come into this world different, eyes wide open, independent, ready to live and do the different things that they're doing, right? But that's what this world stifles. Because why? And how? Because if their minds are as precious as they are, they absorb so much. Back to the Wally situation with this coffee. 1 year old, and this is what he knows. If you just did a Google or YouTube videos and looked at typical 1-year-olds, what are 1-year-olds doing? Are they talking? Our son is, he communicates well. He communicates well. All of them do. But I'm just dealing with him because he's the youngest. And he can ask for what he wants, expresses what he needs, says what he doesn't like. Even if he's fussy at sometimes, calming him down to the point of just saying, what is it that you need? He can express it and will express it. So for an independent mind to know oneself, to be encouraged, to be empowered, to be one's self, and to do what God put you here to do, by not being put in a box and being killed mentally, creatively, right? That's what this world does not want. So this knowledge of God, as we talk about the importance of it, it must be important if we're putting them in a school system that doesn't give them that at all. We don't even pray in school. God is not mentioned in school at all. Okay. They don't even do the what do you call it? The Pledge of Allegiance. When I was little, when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, we used to do the Pledge of Allegiance in school. And in the Pledge of Allegiance, God is mentioned in that. They took that out. It's cool because, but anyways, my point is just that the the kind of absorption, their minds are like sponges. And so it's important to not just have the Bible. It's not important. It's not so valuable to just have access to the Word of God if we're just going to read the Word of God and then put up the Word of God and not live the Word of God. So that was what I wanted to say about their minds. You know, the different stages of development, why they're even going to, you know, to school so young, but that all has to do with all of these different things, you know. But again, the importance of this, I really want to just drive that point home because we're getting to the top, close to the top of the hour. But I just want that this subject that we have here today, I really want us to think over this long after it's over, long after the lights are out. How important is the knowledge of God, which is, again, the knowledge of self, knowing yourself. Because in a world like this where people criticize about everything, like my husband mentioned earlier, people have a negative thought. And I mean, that's the easiest thing for people to share. You know what I'm saying? But let's take a look. We got comments on here. So let's go ahead and read some of these comments. Our brother Garvin here, he said, teach your children in the ways of Allah. Do that when they grow up. Oh, so that when they grow up, they won't deviate far from the truth, but always return to the ways of Allah. Absolutely. Brother Jihad said, yes, sir, the mind is one of the greatest assets. Therefore, it must be protected. Absolutely. And there goes his brother Kadar Muhammad. Teach. Absolutely. So, any comments from you, sir? Like I said, I could go on and on and on about this because it really is exciting and it means a lot to me. You know, I'm definitely passionate about this. The Joshua generation. That's right, sir. That's right. We are that generation.
So we're gonna say with that, okay. The Joshua generation. All right. It's a lecture that the minister did, speaking to the junior FOI back in 1997. Mm-hmm. And he said that we was the generation of fulfillment. And that's the attitude that we have. So when we see brothers and sisters that don't really have that attitude, either it hasn't been turned on or they just not the ones to fulfill anything. So because we saying that, hey man, the hell with the Federal Reserve, the hell with the government, the hell with the Zionist Jew, we don't get nothing about none of that. They don't have no power, whatever it is. Before I live as a slave, I would rather you just kill me. You feel what I'm saying? So we the ones to fulfill what the gods, the prophets, the messenger, the Christ them already had spoke. So when they were speaking back then, they was talking about us coming. That's the fulfillment. And on this lecture, the minister break down on how hope and faith don't look like fulfillment. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So I can have hope that, you know, I'm going to get rich, right? I can even have faith. But it still don't look like fulfillment, though. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? See, our ancestors, they hope for a generation that'll come freedom. The generation is here now. But the majority of this generation that is to free us as a people is still misguided because Satan is working night and day to keep them misguided. You feel me? So he's challenging the Messiah that is on the scene to keep the youth misguided so they can stay in bad conduct and bad activities. So when God comes, I mean, not when he comes, but when he comes back to destroy, he's going to destroy them too because they won't be fit. They make them reject it. But our God is so merciful. He forgives us over and over and over again. You feel what I'm saying? But we have to step up to the plate. And me and my wife talk about this all the time, that we have to do more because we are from that Joshua generation breed. We are from that mindset. You feel me? That I was born in 1981. Well, that was the year that the minister first gave a Savior's Day after the Muslim Muhammad. 6 years from 1975. 6 years later. I was born literally like 3 weeks later after that Savior's Day, 1981, which is one of my favorite Savior's Days, by the way, right? And my mother was in the nation prior to 75. So she could have heard that lecture while she was pregnant with me. She's not here for me to ask her no more, but she could have heard that lecture, that it went into me to be one of the children that she probably prayed for. Give me a son that will help Farrakhan. I helped the Mullah Muhammad. She had two, me and my brother. He didn't answer the call, and he was born in 77, a significant year. But I was born in 88, 4 years later. 81, 4 years later. So this is that type of thing. So I remember seeing the minister and hearing him, and I cannot to this day recall the first time I ever heard him or laid eyes on him. I don't know. But he has always seemed like he has always been dear to me. So it's something that my mother had to instill in me when I was in her womb. It's from her thoughts or something. Or something that she just used to watch. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And she's not here for me to ask her that. But I know what I had to go through to even get to saying, yeah, I want to be a Muslim. I grew up a Christian. I grew up in the church. Never saw no power in it. You feel me? There's too many contradictions. Didn't get no light from it, nothing. It wasn't, I had that warrior spirit. Even before I came to the nation, I was leaning more on the Black Panther tip. Like, hey, man, let's just get some guns. Let's just go take out the enemy. And I used to have brother tell me, brother, that ain't going to work. You're a damn fool. You feel me? You think you're going to beat the enemy with that. And I was one of those very ones saying, well, at least we just take some of them out. And they're like, nah, man, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? With that foolishness. Then I came into this knowledge and to the teachers. I was like, oh, this is how you fight it. It's a mental thing. The war of Armageddon been going on since God came on the scene and made him a messenger. Right? But it's been a mental, spiritual warfare going on, and we still dealing with the warfare of Armageddon in self. You feel me? But go ahead and let my wife close out because we want to keep this at 1 hour, so we got about 2-3 minutes.
Well, it's not just to try to give it to me to close out, especially on that point, because I wrote that down, and I just wanted to say that to that point, to your point, what you just said, that's why I too move the way that I do, am the way that I am, why we're together, because gaining that understanding that warfare and to win this was a internal thing, or a mental thing, an unseen thing. It wasn't just internal for myself, but to help free the minds of the people. Well, then I had to immediately accept the challenge to improve upon myself. That was the first thing. There was things that I was going to have to stop doing and start doing if I was going to make a change in my life to be able to go and help other people. Because, we've all seen movies or experienced somebody who's trying to teach us, but we look at their life and we're like, how you telling me anything? You got a blunt in one hand, a bottle in the other. You don't have a home for yourself.
Disrespectful to women.
Disrespectful to women, disrespectful to men, disrespectful to yourself. And you're trying to coach me on life and you expect me to take you seriously. So self-improvement is first. And that's what this is all about. Knowing about who I am. When I know about who I am, I know about who you are and others. And so looking at ourselves, examining, analyzing, and self-correcting. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, because when we look at the things that stop us from being as great as we could be, it's fear, it's doubt, it's worries and concerns, and these cautions that we all of a sudden have whenever opportunity presents itself, whenever a better way presents itself. These are the things that stop us, things that are in our own mind. But how did they get in our mind? Right? How did they get there? And so that's the warfare. That's the freeing of the minds. And that's why our children are fearless. You can't tell our child, oh, be careful. Don't be afraid of this. And no way. Not when you know God. Not when you truly know God. And you know yourself and your direct connection with him. So with that, I look forward to the next Separation and Independence broadcast. We thank you all for joining us tonight, because there's going to be more of this, that we have to delve into it more. We have to open up these, and we hope that you all will continue to come back, join us in these conversations, bring to us the things that you want to hear, want to talk about, and bring yourself and your comments with you, because that's what it's about, and that's how we're going to get further and farther along the journey together.
Yeah, so we want to keep this going. So be looking for the official flyer to come out. And we want to just have these conversations. Like many times I did this. I dealt with this broadcast, and they was powerful. The enemy even came back and took some of them down, as we would know. But I'm good. I'm cool with that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm cool with that, because this is his word. We don't beg him for nothing. But at the same time, this aspect of self, this has to be, this knowledge, this education, it has to be sustained. It has to be focused on, because we can do what we're doing if we will just stand up and be our righteous self. Because there's no limitations on what we can do. Because why? If I'm thinking on the righteous level, everything that I do is righteous, is right and exact. So I ain't worried about I gotta worry about the consequences. I ain't worried about none of that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not worried about none of that. That's why we saying that we have to get this understanding. We have to come together, and we have to look in the mirror, and you have to look in the mirror and see God. You don't need to look outside of self, because everything that you want is in self. You want to correct the problem that you have, it's in self. And when you look outside of self, that's when you run into a problem. We was created like that. We was created with the ability to heal ourselves, the ability to think our way out of situations and solutions, the ability to think our way into massive wealth, right? So we are the family, the MacD family. We that couple. We busting up all that. We want to separate spiritual and economic. Hell no. They ain't the teachings of the Most Honorable Muhammad. They ain't the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Well, he say don't worry about money. Okay, then don't go to work. I mean, what's you giving up 8 to 10 hours a day? Now make that make sense. Brother, all y'all do is talk about money. Hell, your business is called for money. You're damn right. It's obligatory that you listen to what the hell we saying and submit, or you will not thrive. Now, they're going to say you won't survive. You won't thrive with it, because we're not just surviving. We're thriving in the fall of America. We're thriving in the fall of the dollar. Right in front of your face. Humble yourself. Inbox me privately. Text me privately and say, man, I got to get in with what y'all doing, man. Because I've been doing this for too damn long, man. I'm sick of this. All right? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'd have been married 3-4 times, and at the root of these divorces always is finances. We ain't spending enough time. I ain't doing this here. Yeah, she tired of working. I can't do this. We ain't doing. So yeah, make the change. Make that. Humble yourself, family. I didn't know this till I came to the teachings. I had a brother tell me, well, you think you know everything. Well, brother, you just put that on Farrakhan. Because everything I think I know, I got from him. So you ain't put that on me. You feel what I'm saying? Why? Because when you talk and deal with me, I'm going to funnel everything through the teachings of the Most Honorable Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, period. Why? Because I was an absolute fool before I came to the nation. So nothing you hear from me, nothing you hear me say or anything is always funneled through the teachings, period. Why? Because I couldn't stay out of jail before I came to the nation. So how the hell I'm going to take credit for it? That's just super arrogant. Well, you just the way you told. Well, hey, the knowledge of self kind of does that when you really ain't exercising it the way you should. So a person like me becomes intimidating to you because you had the same opportunity, the same ability, but you not really applying yourself. So you want to put it on, I'm an arrogant person, I'm boasting. No. Oh, you do this. I can't teach you. Well, you can't teach me something you ain't doing. How the hell what the hell is that? You see that book right there? From Robert Kiyosaki say fake teachers, fake assets, fake money, right? If you ain't doing it, then you trying to be you a fake teacher. You feel me? You trying to tell me and try to coach me to do something that you ain't doing. Show me how to do X, Y, and Z. Don't try to tell me and talk me into it. Show me. Train me. But if you ain't doing it, then you need to humble yourself and let me train you. Because anything I say I'm doing, or anything you see me do, I'm doing it. And I have the ability to teach and train. Right? But you got to submit. You got to want it. And we run into the aspect and we see most of us don't even want a freedom. Like we don't even know. Freedom don't even cross our damn mind because we think it's about money. Y'all talk about money. No, you think we talking about money. We talking about freedom. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about.
And maybe we need to come back and have a separation and independence broadcast dealing with faith, because faith is at the base of all of that right there. When we can hear something, when we can hear the same thing, not something, when we can hear the same thing and understand and comprehend it differently, one that's ready to move out, accomplish it now, go after it, get it done. Where another mindset is like, oh, wait, think about it. I don't know, not sure. Pray about it, pray it again, and then pray some more, and then wait some more. See, what is your faith saying? What is your faith on that subject matter? Because your faith is what will allow you to move out on things. Now, my husband and I both came in the nation. I don't know about introduced, that would be the proper word, but 2012 was when, I registered, came in, and there's people that have been with the knowledge, whether they're in or out of the nation is irrelevant, but have known this information far longer than I, but yet we are in totally different conditions. Now, when ego is present, we can give a lot of variations, a lot of excuses, or whatever we may call them, on why it's like that. No, things take time. And yes, things do take time. But what's the difference between one person and the next? It's faith is a big percentage of that. I'm not going to put
faith and belief.
Right. And the work, because when you have faith, how does the scripture say? Show me a man with work, I'll show you a man with faith in essence. So that's where faith is determined by the work that's being done with it. You can't say you have faith, but you have nothing. That's all I'm going to say. So I see you want to...
Well, listen, family. My wife just sparked this, right? So my wife just sparked this. She talking about faith. So I'm gonna read from the Supreme Wisdom Lesson. Wait, she was talking about fear. So I'm gonna read from the Supreme Wisdom Lesson that we got. This is English lesson number C1. On 6, it says, matter of fact, let me just read them all. Start them off. The name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. My name is W.F. Muhammad. I came to North America by myself. My uncle was brought over here by the trader 379 years ago. My uncle cannot talk his own language. He does not know that he is my uncle. That means he don't know himself. He don't know where he's from. He don't know his people. He don't know his roots, right? He don't know he's my uncle, right? This is Allah saying, I'm coming over here, you know what I'm saying? But my uncle over here, because this is my brother. This is my father, brother. But he don't know that he is my uncle. He don't know that I'm his nephew that's trying to save him. He don't know because he don't know. He cut off from his roots. Then it said he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. Hold on, it gets even deeper now. Why does he like the devil? Because the devil put fear in him when he was a little boy. Why does he like the devil? Why does he fear the devil? Or why does he like the devil, rather? Because the devil put fear in him when he was a little boy. Why does he fear now since he's a big man? because the devil taught him to eat the wrong food. See, we think that's literal food, and it is, but it's also spiritual food, mental food, right? What are we intaking? See, we intake doubt. So when we talk to certain people, we only hear doubt, which is rooted in fear. When you doubt something, you're afraid. Why you don't want to do it? Like I had a brother get signed up today. Brother was supposed to do 5,000. He might see the video. He ended up doing 2,000, but said he wanted to do 25,000.
Wow.
Like what? How? Who? What? I'm just gonna try this out. I said, man, with this promotion and these incentives, you're leaving a lot of money on the table with what we got going on. You do know that, right? So you leaving like $12,000 on the table. Because with your 25,000, they're gonna give you 15,000. But you rather go with 2,000 and only get 3,000.
Oh, he left too much. More than 12,000. Lord Jesus.
Like he left 12,000.
My goodness.
You feel what I'm saying? But but what I'm hearing, I'm living there listening. I'm just not in the conviction. I ain't finna try to pull him out of his money. All right, do the 2,000. That's what you want to do. Okay, cool. Cool with me. You feel what I'm saying? It's your blown opportunity right now. Now this is we got a bank, so it's gonna be more stuff to come. But it's fear. All I heard was fear. I want to do it. It's too much trust in the bank. Why? Why?
Exactly.
Right here. It's right here.
Exactly.
He likes the devil because the devil gives
Give
him
him
nothing.
nothing.
Then he say he put fear in him when he was a little boy. Why does he fear now since he's a big man? Because the devil taught him to eat the wrong food. We have been taught to love the banking system.
My goodness. To trust.
To trust them. We have been taught to trust the government. So we fear them.
Wow.
And we like them and they don't give us nothing, whether you vote Democrat, whether you vote Republican. None of them ever gave the black community a damn thing. They only have taken away from us. And we still love them. And we still willing to argue about Trump. I want Trump to be president. I'd rather Biden be the president, right? We ran back and voted for Hillary when Hillary put out that whole crime bill. Call our brothers and sisters gang banging super predators like we forget. Yeah, that's why we love the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, goddamn it, because he ain't gonna let us forget what they have done, right? So you can cow out, you can buck dance and tap dance and turn into Sambo all you want. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, we will never forget him. Why? Because our God came to kill him. He ain't gonna forgive him. He's just trying to save us in the process. Trying to get us the hell out the way.
My God.
That's what he trying. That's what Master Farad Muhammad trying to do. And he ain't gonna even be the one to do it. He done came on the scene. He educated one of us. The most honorable Muhammad, and now has given him the power over everything but himself. So we have no fear of this enemy.
No, we don't.
Come kill us, we respect for retaliation immediately. This is no joke. Master Farad Muhammad is real. That mother plane is real. The most honorable Muhammad is physically alive right now and well. And he's in power. He's the black God. He was the one that was a slave, a descendant from slave, and has been given the power. The first begotten of the dead in your Bible is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
That God, that holy one that come from Mount Paran, that's Master Farad Muhammad is in your book. The Muhammad that makes war. That ain't Prophet Muhammad made a peace and the blessings of Allah be upon him. That ain't him. Have none of the stuff that you read about, none of those judgments that you read about in the Quran happened in Arabia on the Prophet Muhammad. Whether it didn't happen in Medina, it didn't happen in Mecca. So when is it supposed to happen? Because it's talking about judgment all through the Holy Quran. But none of it happened while Prophet Muhammad was here. It didn't happen in Arabia and Mecca. So when is that supposed to happen? And Allah is commanding him to recite the histories. But none of those histories came back and happened while he was here. in Arabia or Medina, where that's Arabia. Didn't happen. So what is it supposed to happen? We see it happening right now in America and some other parts of the world, but mainly America is the focal point. Why? Because they got us held hostage. And we ain't realized that we held hostage. We are hostage to them. That's why we are considered the children of Israel. We they property. We ain't Israel.
Captive praise in the book.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
That's why I say children of. See, we just a little word like throw us all off. But if we just would study that word, why does it say children of Israel? You got the house of Israel, you got the elders of Israel, right? This is what it is. That's us. So the God that's destined to come, the Christ that's destined to be raised, coming out of us. We ain't looking for no foreigner. Well, Master Muhammad was from Arabia. Yeah, and the bulk of the work he gave to a black man. Or from over here. Why? Because he got to get to somebody to speak our language. Oh my goodness. Right? He couldn't come over here talking Arabic and doing this. He ain't going to raise us with that. We don't know nothing about that. He couldn't even come preaching straight out of the Quran like that. He kind of untangled the Bible because we were so caught up in the Bible. So he had to get us out of the Bible. Black people dead in the Bible.
My God.
They believe Jesus gonna come back on wings and save him. They think they're gonna die and go some damn place. Right? You think you're gonna die and go someplace? Why don't you test it out? Go jump off that building and see. I grab that 45, blow your brains out and see. You going somewhere else, right? Ain't no sense you stand here. You know damn well your nature won't let you believe nothing like that.
Sure.
Your nature won't let you believe nothing like that.
That's why as soon as you get sick, you run to a bottle, to a hospital, to a
To a pill.
Something that you want to hold on to this life.
You want to hold on
but
to
if
this.
you think that something is better on the other side, why would you hold on to it? Oh, it's time for me to go. I'm getting sick. Okay, cool. I'm on my way. But like you said, your nature won't even let you believe that.
Every creature on the planet will defend its life if its life is threatened. I don't care about the gnat, the fly, the ant, the spider, the horse, the dog, the cat, anything, the bird, the snake. It will defend itself if it feels its life is in danger because it don't know nothing about nothing else.
Why else would the first law of nature
be self-preservation?
Interesting.
If it's a life after death, what the hell did God give the man semen for, and then he put an egg in the woman for what? Because ain't nobody gonna die, right? So I don't need no processing to keep production, to keep humans on the planet. Then I don't need that. If you die and you gonna go someplace and you in another world, another damn galaxy, what the hell I'm prolonging this galaxy for then? So everybody that was born, everybody that was born 1 million years ago, they on another planet some damn way. That's what we think.
Okay.
Woo, man, we gotta get the knowledge of God, man. See, the knowledge of God unlocks everything. This is what we deal with in the Nation of Islam. We dealing with the reality of everything. That's why it's pure science. It can't be refuted. Right? We told you how the Caucasian got here. Right? And we black folk, we want to defend. Well, I was listening to Brother Jabril Muhammad the other day, our great brother. He's in here. You know, college professor say, well, since I don't know, nobody know. Man, shut up. How the hell that make sense? I don't know how creation started. I don't know about this. So don't nobody know.
That's arrogant.
That's arrogant. So don't nobody know. You feel what I'm saying? But this is what happened when we go through their educational system. This is what happens. We don't know. They argue. Oh no, they ain't Jesus. Farrakhan ain't Jesus. What is Jesus? What is Jesus supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? No, the Muslim Muhammad ain't that. What was he supposed to do? Tell me what the Jesus supposed to do in your book. Since you saying somebody not that. So you literally think it's a man that's gonna come on the scene named Jesus. So, okay, let's deal with it. Your brother Jabril said, "Oh man, praise the Lord, praise Allah for him." He said, "Listen, so this is what everybody thinking, right? So Jesus gonna come and to save his world. He gonna appear under the name Jesus, and then it's gonna be an announcement where they're gonna stop ball games, they're gonna stop shows, they're gonna stop movies, and say, hey, breaking news. Your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is on the scene. This is what they're going to do. This, because we got to understand, if he coming back, how's he going to announce himself? How's he going to make himself known? Huh?
Excuse me, Fox News, CNN. I'm here. I'm going to
interrupt the broadcast.
I just want to let everybody know I'm back.
I'm back.
Come on,
y'all. The Raptors here.
144,000. You only get your ticket. Come on.
See what I'm saying? That don't even make no damn sense.
Paint the picture.
Paint the picture. If somebody came on the scene saying that, they will literally, the white man would literally, I don't care if it's another white man, they will literally mock him on live TV. They don't respect nada. They don't respect nada. You feel me? Y'all remember Training Day when he was talking about when he asked the Mexican brother about Alonzo and he was like, I don't never shake Alonzo's hand because he don't respect nada, right? He talking about the Indian. He talking about the Caucasian. They don't respect nada. They make mockery of everybody, everything. They make a mockery out of it. Some of the mockery you can see, but some of us not even smart to see when they are mocking us, and it's kind of underhand. Mm-hmm. We don't really see it. You feel what I'm saying? They mock us every step of the way. Moshe Muhammad said they mock us every step of the way. He said that to the black man, right? So, why does he fear now since he's a big man? Because the devil taught him to eat the wrong food. Why he don't want to get away from the central bank? Because he was taught from the children. Like my wife was saying to start this off. Our children do what we do. They doing what they see us doing. What did you see your parents and grandparents doing? Mm-hmm. What did they tell you to do with your money? Put it in the bank.
We were actually sat down at a table when I was like in the 4th and 5th grade, and the account, whatever bank she had at the time, my mother had us open up these little share bear accounts or something like that, share accounts. And it was just like, you just make your little deposits and you get some little brown coin, some trinket for the child to be delighted in this process. But that was in her mind. She thinks that she's teaching us right because this is what she's been taught, right? And so, but what was it? I'm introducing you to this system of banking, what we want you to do. And so here I am, your mother, teaching you this. You think that it is right and exact, right? And that's how that process continues to go. So there was things that I was learning in the home, not even in the school, that society implemented in my mother, she's thinking that she's doing something productive for me, which only got me into, so I need to hurry up and get a job. I got my first job at 14. Hurry up and get a job. I don't have no bills to pay. What I need a job for? Because I want some dollars to save and spend. But didn't have the proper understanding of what this so-called saving was doing, because I didn't have I had no knowledge, not understanding. I had no knowledge, no awareness, no consciousness about the depreciation of the dollar, inflation, none of that. You don't know none of that stuff is going on. But I digress. I just wanted to make that point to what you were just saying. We're being taught that young.
And then we don't even know why we're being taught that. That's the whole thing. We don't even know where it comes from, because in the school system, they have nothing dealing with money. Period. Nothing. Other than you work a job and go out here and get a job. You get this education, get this diploma, then go to college, go into debt, and then now you come out of college, you're in debt because your parents, probably the average, especially one of us, our parents couldn't afford it. And they only give out so many scholarships, academic scholarships, right? They only give out so many of them. So everybody can't get them, and everybody can't pay. So the majority goes into debt to go to college. Just to get a certificate, a piece of paper to come out and work for some more paper. This man got this thing tricked up. And then when you go to the bank, see how they mark you in the bank? Just walk in the bank, they marking you. Why? Because they got suckers right there for you and your children.
We used to get them.
Do you want to get you something? Do you want something?
But you know what kind of suckers they was? The kind that the rapper on the rapper it says dumb. Oh my goodness.
You feel what I'm saying? These are the kind of suckers. This is what they're getting, right? Our so-called Jewish friends, just like Brother Jahad just said. That's right, Brother Jahad. Our so-called Jewish friends. You feel me? So these are the things that we got to know. Once you know the knowledge of God, you know the knowledge of the enemy.
That's right.
You know the knowledge of Satan. You know the knowledge of everything. You know the knowledge of yourself and how you the original person. Everybody else comes from you, so we know the origin of them. So how we going to let them and submit to somebody that just came on the scene? We ain't submitting to that. We ain't following that, bowing down to that. We ain't running around here scared. What we got to lose?
Right.
They ain't gave us reparations. The United States economy is trillions of dollars in debt. They ain't gave us $1 trillion. They ain't gave us 1 square inch of land. And they ain't even gave us a sincere apology for the transatlantic slave trade.
They didn't give us a garbage apology. They have given us.
They ain't even gave us. They not a
sorry.
sincere apology. You're right, baby. They ain't even gave us a backhand. Hey, yeah, we sorry, man. God damn, let it go.
Yeah.
They ain't even said that.
They ain't even give us that.
They just said, hey, get over it, man. You know, that was back then. You know, mine ain't had nothing to do with that. That was my ancestor. Yeah, you had something to do with it now because we're dealing with white privilege.
Yeah, and now to the point where you find us saying that, telling each other, let it go, let it go, let it go. That mindset trickling all over here in our community, not literally us. I'm just saying in our community, we talking about let stuff go. We ain't there no more.
Yeah, and then our people say that. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, people say, hey, man, let it go.
Yeah.
We had a black president that went to Harvard. Make sense of that. Right? Make sense of that. Right? And he really was a Muslim. Barack Obama really was a Muslim. That's his name. Barack Hussein Obama. A lot of folks don't know that. He was a Muslim. He grew up Muslim. Right? But that's what we said. We got that. What did he check? What happened under him? Hell, you probably had more police shootings while he was in office for those 8 years.
And they was mocking him while he was in office.
But Brother Nura say, that was just a commercial break from white supremacy. Now back to the normal, back to the normal program. Right. We give you a pause for 8 years, but while we pause, we're gonna kill your brothers just for walking down the damn street. Don't let us pull you over. They were just going crazy under Obama, right? They just went all the way unleashed. But Allah gave us Obama. Because why? Before he destroyed people, he want us to what we think will work. Okay, y'all think a black president will work? Here you go. You think a black mayor, black governor will work? Here you go. You think a black attorney general will work? Here you go.
Right.
Here you go. Now I got the patience and I got the willpower to foresee my will through. You're gonna separate from them willingly or unwillingly. One way or another, don't matter. If you try to do it, if you wait to do it unwillingly, it's just a lot of more y'all gonna get killed.
Yeah, a lot of more suffering on our part.
A lot of more suffering on our part. Because God had already laid out the solution. All we got to do is stand up and take the solution. Separation. All right? And don't confuse the word separation with integration or segregation. Rather. It's a difference. Y'all want to know the difference? Let's break it down. Separation meaning we got our own land, we got our own territory to govern. We got our own government. Segregation means we got a part of a town that we stay in, but they still control it. They still make the laws, they still make the government, they still have the government. That's segregation. Pretty much most of the major cities now are already segregated. You got black, this side of town is black. Go wherever you at. Any big city you name, you can go to a side of town where it's white over here, dominant white, black over here. You go over here, it's Mexicans over here. That's segregation. Because the white man still runs all of it. He makes the laws. We pay him taxes. So it don't matter about us being, this is the black community. Yeah, we don't control nothing. And then in our community, we got Arabs, Indians, foreign Africans. We got all of them running the stores. Koreans, we got all of them running the stores in our community. We don't own one store.
We don't own nothing. We don't own a blade.
We don't want nothing, and we don't want to do nothing on the group economic tip because we would rather spend money with somebody else before we spend it with our own brother and sister. That's why brothers don't come into business with us right now.
Right.
What you gonna make off of? What difference does it make? Everybody making money off of you, right? I remember being in Birmingham, the Hebrew Israelites would pull up on us on the corner. The so-called Hebrew Israelites, so super conscious, they would pull up on us on the corner and say, man, I don't support Muslims. And I said, Negro, please, you finna go right over there to that Shell gas station. Them Arabs, what you think they are? They Muslims, fool. Just say you don't support black Muslims. Just put the black on it. Just tell the truth. You don't support yourself. Because we on one corner. Soon as you go through the light, they turn and go into the Shell gas station on the opposite corner that's ran by Arabs that are Muslims. And I'm not saying this because they're Arabs. They are Muslims. I have talked to them. They are Muslims. And our brothers go in there and buy blunts from them, buy drinks from them, buy gas from them. But they tell us a $2 paper, I don't support that. Y'all Muslim. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Fool, shit the hell. See what I'm saying? We just got to make it plain. We got to make it plain. You ain't got the knowledge yourself. That's why we don't submit and follow none of that. How the hell that sound? And I used to tell them, and then they be like, oh, they couldn't even say nothing. I'm telling you, I'm not just exaggerating. These are just, I got plenty of stories out there dealing with our people now, right? Plenty of them, right? So I used to say that they just, ain't nothing they can say. Ain't nothing they can say. They try to reach for something else. Oh, y'all killed Malcolm. Nigga, I wasn't here in 65, nigga. The hell you mean? You feel what I'm saying? Well, is that the case? Well, why nobody say that, hey, the Christians killed Martin Luther King? Because the white man that did it, he was a Christian. Y'all do know, everybody know that, right? Yeah, I was in the prison with him. He's a Christian. They had him in solitary confinement. You feel me? But listen, we're gonna get off of here. So I'm gonna get a mic.
Don't give it back to me.
So we're gonna get a mic. You feel what I'm saying? She's looking like, hey, baby.
No,
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Then we both been on now.
I don't sound like that.
Right. I'm about to hear it later, right?
You not.
But listen, man, we just having a good time, right? Because see, when we getting educated about the knowledge of self, we're supposed to have a good time. We're supposed to have humor. And it's supposed to be some blunt truth. Now, you got to get punched in the face. You got to get hit now. You feel what I'm saying? But it got to be a little laughter. You feel what I'm saying? We got to do that. So we have to do that, family. But we have to bring the truth. We have to bring it clear. But we got to give you a little humor with it so you'll accept it. You feel what I'm saying? But you'll accept it.
I said I don't sound like that. Sister Lydia. I love her. Don't be doing me.
But yeah, family. So family, we're gonna strive to keep this going. I got a brother gonna work on some flyers for us, and we're gonna promote this hard. So support it, promote it, man. Bring the people here. We wanna make this our broadcast. We have been putting it off for a while, but now we are here. We're sane. We're getting more structured, and we want to do stuff together. Feel what I'm saying?
And we want to hear from you. So if there's topics that you all want to hear dealing with separation and independence, again, you know, my husband mentioned earlier the variety of things. We deal with business, we deal with economics, we deal with education, the rearing of the children, the family life. So in these realms of things that we discuss, you know, if there's something that you want to key in on, let us know. Put it in the comment section. You know, some of you all have our, you know, text and get connected. Let us know. Inbox us. You know, we're people just like you. We respond to folks. You know what I'm saying? If it's for me personally, if you're in my messenger, you get kind of backed up. So, you know, but definitely reach out and let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to make this a dialogue. We want to be engaging with you. This is not for us to be on some soapbox just rambling on. So we're here engaging with the comments. So do that for us.
Yes, family. So thank y'all for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow for a brand new episode of Crypto Mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be going over some metaverse finance stuff, some compound interest stuff. We're going to be showing all this type of stuff here. We might load a certificate or two. You never know. But come so you can see what is here, because this broadcast here, along with all our broadcasts, is part of our project. Project Exodus 10,000. We're looking for 10,000 people that want to become flat out rich in a decentralized cryptocurrency space. Right? Using these currencies to get whatever we want, right? And we don't need nobody hindering us, nobody trying to block us from what we want to do and how we want to live and how we want to spend my money. It's my damn money. What you ask me, why you want to send it over here? Why you want to send it? See, if you got to ask me all that, that's like what we do with children. I got you a fund, or it's $250,000 in the fund, and the child say, hey, I'm finna take out $50,000. What you taking $50,000? I thought it was mine. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I thought it was mine.
It's like that.
So it ain't mine. Then you gonna govern it, right?
It's like that J.G. Whitworth commercial. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it was like, "It's my money and I need it now." Y'all remember that commercial?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's my money and I need it now. Wherever they was at, on the bus, out the window in the car. So this is where we at, y'all. So get your monies out that bank.
Get your money up.
It's your money. You need it now. So get some control of it.
So that's what we saying, family. When we doing this and moving, nobody asking us, "Hey, what you doing?" What you mean? Well, this is mine. That's a consensus. I have to press that button and say approve. Right. I ain't got to wait on the bank. Well, I'm hoping the bank don't flag this. They only let me do 3,000. Let me call them to up my limit.
Lord have mercy.
No, man,
it ain't yours.
That ain't mean it ain't yours, right? Or they ain't got it.
Or they ain't got it.
Yeah, they got a limit on these debit cards and these credit cards, because if everybody was just spending crazy, it'll collapse because the money ain't all in there. So they had to give everybody a limit. My God. So it won't fall like that. Oh yeah, that's all a scientific trick, man. Yeah, listen, you gotta give your hats off to them folks. The international bankers, give your hats off to them folks. Them folks is smart. But they created a system that's a scam at the root of it. The core of it is a scam. Yes. And the average person can't even detect it. My God. Don't even know it. And then when you put it in their face, they would defend it, but you never hear them come out and defend it. When you ever heard a Zionist come out and defend the Federal Reserve? Never. Come on, I just tell you, come on. When you ever heard them come out and defend the World Bank, the IMF, taxes? When you ever heard them defend the banking system? Right? I'm telling you, I'm for real, family. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was it, man. But when have you ever heard them defend it? But you would have a silly Negro, like my brother Landon X out of California, out of LA say, Negro. He say Negro. Like a Negro. Like, yeah, you say you got them come out to work all the time defending. They do it all the time, just unconscious. Man, let's tell you. I don't even know about that, man. Is the FDIC insured? Man, what? Oh, my goodness. What? This FDIC is a scam. What year did it come out? Oh, we prove it to you. No limit of time. No limit of time. But family, we got to go. But before we go, our call for 10,000 millionaires is just only putting 100x on what the minister called for in 1998. And we're going to leave with that clip because it is the holy month of Ramadan. And we're going to let the Belial of this time call us back to the way of Allah, and that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So we'll see y'all next Thursday for another Separation and Independent broadcast. And if you're really in tune with us and really supporting us, we'll see you in the morning for Crypto Mornings. We out of here, family. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Fard Money, and also go subscribe to New Millennium Bankers. Wa alaikum salam.
Satisfied until we have the college level on the University of Islam. And if you help me by doing what you can in the economic field, Muslims, you shouldn't be around here looking to white people to give you a job. Go look in Message to the Black Man and the Economic Blueprint. And if there are 4 of you, 6 of you, 8 of you together, pool your resources, go into business and set up business all over the south and west side of Chicago. I I would like to see at least 100 millionaires among the Muslims in Chicago. If you're rich, I'm rich. And I can always come and tell you about the needs of a nation. But if you poor and we poor, hell man, we can't be around here poor. I want to see rich Muslims. And if you obey Allah, there's no reason why you can't make a business successful. You just have to get up and stop being lazy and trifling and go do something for yourself. So we're going to put together a trade delegation of Muslims and, well, everybody's a Muslim. But there are those who have not confessed Islam, but they are brilliant in business. We made promises to governments, and we're going to fulfill our promise. There's all kinds of investment opportunities. Diamonds, gold, uranium, oil. I mean, you name it, Africa is open. And the Europeans are coming in with money and they're taking Africa. Well, why can't we go? They're ready to sell gold mines to us. They're ready for us to develop gold. Well, where's Michael Jackson? Where's Shaq O'Neal? We need to pull our moneyed people together and let's do some business now, because we can't build a nation on the charity of the believer. We can only build a nation on a strong economic foundation that's built on business, agriculture, agribusiness. Yes, sir.